I know you're one of those persons who think getting into cybersecurity requires vast amount of technical skills. You might be correct, but maybe you've not just found someone who will break down some of these complexities for you. Today, I'm not just only going to tell you, I'm going to show you some of the things that happens in the Security Operations Center, popularly known as SOC, and the roles and duties of the SOC Tier 1 Analyst, also known as the Junior SOC Analyst. In fact, in today's video, we'll be using these names interchangeably. Either we'll call it SOC 1 Analyst, or we'll call them Junior SOC 1 Analyst, or we'll call them the Junior Analyst. And hopefully, after this video, you might be eager to join the SOC team in your organization. I hope you stick around until the end, because this is a very interesting career path in cybersecurity. I am Eboh FN, and this is Cyber Knowledge Band on Secneedle. Some of the activities carried out in the Security Operations Center is identifying suspicious activities on the company's network and stopping cyber attack before they cause severe damage. One of the roles of the cybersecurity personnel that work in the SOC is, of course, the SOC 1 Analyst, also known as the Junior SOC Analyst. Now, because of the vast amount of alert that is being generated on the company's network, there is need for the Junior Analysts to filter the false positive from the true positive. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to break that down. False positives are those mere harmless system glitches, while true positives are the main cyber attack. When the Junior Analyst is done filtering the false positive from the true positives, he escalates the true positives to the SOC 2 Analyst. The Junior Analyst does this to prevent the SOC 2 Analyst from getting overwhelmed by too many alerts. This way, the SOC 2 Analyst focuses on the main problem. I'm going to show you shortly how the SOC 1 Analyst does this through a process called alert triage. Before I show you that, it is important to note that the SOC 1 Analyst does not work alone in the Security Operations Center. We have the SOC 2 Analyst who handles the escalated cyber threat. We have the SOC Engineer who configures and maintains the tools that the SOC Analysts use in fighting cyber attacks. We have the SOC Manager who is the leader of the SOC team. This person also serves as an intermediary between the SOC team and the top management of the organization. Importantly, there's the incident responder. This person is called upon specifically when there is a serious cybersecurity breach that has bypassed the defenses of the SOC Analyst. Now it is time to show you some of the things that the SOC Analysts do on their job. Okay, this is a simulation of one of the tools that a SOC Level 1 Analyst will use on the job. It's the simulation gotten from Triage, and this is a simulation of a tool called SIEM, SIEM, Security Information Event Management. Now, when you pay close attention to what we can see on the screen, you can see that first off, we are currently on the dashboard, on the SIEM dashboard. Now, pay close attention to this part of the screen where we have June 4th, 2026 at 3:27 rather. Now, on this particular day, at this particular time, there was an alert titled Successful SSH Login from the suspicious IP address 221.181.185.159. Now, this is an alert that the SOC Analyst has received on the SIEM. SIEM is a security tool that is used to analyze the activity happening in the network. When you pay very close attention to what is happening on the SIEM dashboard, you're going to notice that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alerts. And each alert comes with a title. If you notice, they all happened on the same day, all June 4th, 2026, but at different times. Now, when he analyzed this first activity happening on the network, he found out that there was a successful SSH login from this suspicious IP address 221.181.185.159. It means that he didn't recognize this IP address as an IP address that is identifiable or that is usually seen on the network. And since this IP address has successfully logged into the company's network, he's flagging this as critical. Mind you, you can flag an activity as critical, as low, as medium. Now, in this case, he's flagging this as critical because an unknown IP address with this number logged into the company's network. The same IP address here and here is undertaking activities that is very strange on the network. First off, this is an indication that this IP address is unknown to the junior SOC analyst. In this particular situation, after the junior SOC analyst has done his bit analyzing and categorizing each alert according to their severity, the next thing that he does is to escalate this alert to the SOC 2 analyst. And how will that be done? He will come here where we have the copy, all right? He will copy this, move down to the threat intelligence tool, which is this, in this case, in this simulated SIEM, they have it here as IP Hunter. But in the real world, we would have threat intelligence tool like Abuse IPDB, Cisco Talos Intelligence, Virus Total, and the host of others. So when you click here, you just put in, or he will just put in the IP address, okay, and submit. This threat intelligence tool will help search all the database, okay, of popular threat intelligence tool and find out if this particular IP address has been indicated or flagged as malicious. And in this case, it is coming back as being malicious because here we can see that it is malicious and it has been involved in 4 cyber attacks. Now, they said the internet service provider for this IP address is China Mobile Communication Corporation. Okay, the domain name is chinamobile.tm. The country is China. Okay, and category is PortScan C2 server plug X. Now, C2 server is a medium that threat actors use to remotely control a digital system that they have successfully hacked. Now, you can now see that by using the threat intelligence tool on the SIEM, the junior SOC analyst has been able to find out that yes, indeed, this IP address is malicious. So what's the next thing he's going to do? He's going to escalate it. Here we have escalation. You escalate this particular event or this particular alert In this particular scene, we have the SOC team lead, and this is the person to escalate this to. You can't escalate it to the security architect. You won't escalate to Python developer. You won't escalate to sales executive. Rather, you escalate it to the SOC team lead. So this has been escalated, and the person has been chosen, and we escalate this. Now you can now see that after the escalation, the SIEM has recommended to block this malicious IP address while the team lead, the SOC team lead, is analyzing the details of this alert. So this is one of the things that the junior SOC analyst would do after receiving numerous amount of alerts. Now, remember, that was a simulated SIEM. IP Hunter is not a real thing. In the real world context, the equivalent threat intelligence tools we have out there are the Abuse IPDB, the Cisco Talos Intelligence, and the Virus Total, and a host of others. Before we go so far, I want us to take a SOC role challenge together. Let us see how much you understand the roles that are being played by the different cybersecurity personnel in the SOC. Now, with some of the information we've gathered so far about the roles that is being played by each of the cybersecurity personnel in the SOC unit, we want to play, or rather, we want to engage in an activity. Now, I want us to pay very close attention to what's going on here. We have several roles: the GRC auditor, the pen tester, penetration tester, the SOC L1 analyst, the SAT lead, the SOC engineer, the SOC L2 analyst. Remember, we have the SOC L1 analyst here, and this is SOC L2 analyst, and this is the threat researcher, and that will be all. We've been asked to put each of these roles to the corresponding description below. Now, let us read through. SIEM created an alert about FW-NY-01 firewall brute force. Who should triage the alert? Now we have the HR manager, Anna, launched a phishing malware. Who should make a deep analysis? Now, the office in France was somehow hit by ransomware. Immediate response is required. Our server storing the credit card requires PCI DSS audit. Who can help us here? Who can check the new version of tryhackme.thm for vulnerabilities? The SIEM is unavailable due to a storage limit. Who can investigate the issues? FIN7 threat group actively targets our company. Who can analyze their tactics? Now, what you should pay attention is, look at the details of the descriptions here and find which of these roles suits this description. Now, let us start with L1, which we've been talking about, the SOC L1 analyst, the SOC Level 1 analyst, which is also the junior analyst. Let us look at all the roles here and see which one fits his description. Now, SIEM created an alert about FW-NY-01 firewall brute force. Who should triage the alert? This won't be very difficult because we've said already today that the function or the major function of the SOC Level 1 analyst is to assess and evaluate an alert and sieve out the the true positive from the false positive, and the process around assessing these two different positives is called a triage. Now, that means that Lucas will be drawn into this space because this is his function. Now, let us pay close attention again. All right, we are going to go by what we are seeing here. Now, we are saying here that the HR manager Anna launched a phishing malware who should make a deep analysis. Now, if you pay very close attention, you can now see that this is emphasizing on who should make a deep analysis. And the person who does a deep analysis will be the SOC 2. Because if the SOC 1 has finished doing the triage and escalating the true positives, the L2, the SOC Level 2 analyst, will do a deep analysis of that alert. So this gives it away. Deep analysis gives it away. Now let's go down here again. We can see that the office in France was somehow hit by ransomware. Immediate response is required. Immediate response is required. Now, of all the persons left here, the CERT lead is the person who we would place here, because anyone who is bearing the title CERT or CISRT, these roles are basically and purely incident response role. They come in to help salvage the situation. And we are going to bring Robert down here. Now let's see. The next is our server storing the credit card requires PCI DSS audit. Who can help us? Now, this boils down to the GRC, because GRC is an aspect of cybersecurity that has to do with compliance, and PCI DSS audit has to do with complying with the policies slated by this body, and that's why GRC will be moved to this part. Okay, now just for context, whenever a company deals with credit card, let's say they sell things online, or there is some sort of transaction they do with their client, maybe on their website or by basically on their website, they will have to comply with PCI DSS audit, because this is the policy, this is the cybersecurity policy that gives the guideline to be followed if you will be handling people's credit cards. Now let's go to the next one. Who can check the new version of TryHackMe for vulnerability? Now in cybersecurity, there is this aspect of cybersecurity that is called pen testing. What these people do basically is they look out for threats. They look out for potential loopholes that hackers could use to get into a company's network or any form of digital system. So they act as the hacker, they act as a potential hacker to look out for these loopholes, right? So since you are saying who can check the new version of the TryHackMe THM for vulnerability, The penetration tester is the person who you will take to that point because that is the role. Now, remember today, we talked about a cybersecurity personnel that works in the SOC whose function is to maintain and configure the tools that SOC analysts use. That role or that person is the SOC engineer. And here, SIEM. SIEM here is a tool that is used by the SOC analysts to um, undertake their activities against cyber attack. And since it is saying the SIEM is unavailable due to storage limit, who can investigate the issue? We are going to bring the SOC engineer here because that is his role. Now the last one is FIN7 threat group actively targets our company who can analyze their tactics. Now, when you hear analyze, basically you're looking out for deep research. And if Alice is a threat researcher, it means she is the one who we are going to place here. And once we place this here, we are going to see if we've gotten this correct. And yes, we have been told, congratulations, all assignments are correct. Now, this is what we've just done is a challenge, and it can also be called in cybersecurity. It is usually called CTF, capture the flag. Now, capture the flag is you are being given a task. After undertaking that task, you'll be given a code like what we can see here. All right. This is more like your trophy. All right. So if it is an examination or a test that you're being given and you're being told to put in the box the code or the result of your challenge, if successful, this is what you are expected to bring back to that examination to fill in the examination box. All right. So this is CTF, and we've just succeeded in getting everything correct. Now you have an idea of the different roles and functions of the different cybersecurity personnel in the SOC unit. Now, let us see how to do an alert triage. This is one of the major functions of the junior SOC analyst. Okay, this is what an alert triage will look like. This is the simulated SIEM dashboard. And we already have, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events. Now, the junior SOC analyst has succeeded in closing 2 of the alerts and giving a verdict of true positive on this one and false positive on this one. Now, let us go ahead and do one together here. All right, let us assume we are the junior SOC analyst. We are having this alert coming on the 21st of March 2025 at 13:58. 13:58. Now look at this. The SIEM is titling this double extension file creation, and the SIEM is indicating this as high severity. Now this is the status. It is saying awaiting action. It is awaiting the action of the security analyst. Verdict has not been given yet, and this has not been assigned to anyone yet. So what do you do as the junior SOC analyst? Now what you do is you click on this pen, okay? You click on this pen and you start your triaging. The first thing you want to do is you want to indicate if this is in progress. Of course, you should indicate first of all that it is in progress, so that in a situation where you have more than one junior SOC analyst, when the other junior SOC analyst come on their own SIEM dashboard, they can see that this particular alert is already being treated. So we can now see here, after analysis, we can now decide that we want to put it as critical, or we want to put it as medium, or we want to put it as low, right? Now, let us go back and see. Let's look at the next event here. We have the March 21st, 2025 at 13:30. We have a potential data exfiltration. We have the potential data exfiltration. Now, this is a very big problem. Potential data exfiltration means that there is a likelihood that someone has gotten into the network of the company and is currently stealing data from the company's server or from the company's network. This is a problem because this could be financial data, this could be personal data, this could be very sensitive data. So what you should do in this situation, you click on this pen here to edit it. You say, either you say in progress or you say closed, but let us put it as in progress. Let us say verdict, true positive, because it is actually a big problem that needs to be looked into. Severity, critical. And you assign it to the SOC Level 2 analyst for further investigation. Now you can add your comments. You can say the potential data exfiltration needs immediate attention. Okay. There is need to know the IP address. Okay. IP address that is taking out this data and the destination. Okay, I recommend that the IP address should be blocked while the investigation is in progress. Okay. then you can save. Now, since we are done giving the comment, we've given severity, we've assigned it to someone else, we could close it from our own end so that the SOC Analyst 2, okay, can take it over from there. So we can say save. Now let us look at this one. Download from a GitHub repository. All right. So we can put our pencil here. So it is normal for persons in the organization to download stuff from the GitHub repository. So we can flag this as closed first. We can say false positive. We can leave it at low, the severity at low, assign it to ourselves and say I feel okay, this is a normal activity. This is a normal activity. Okay. Seen on the network. Okay, usually seen on the network. Okay, so we can now close that. So because we succeeded in executing this challenge, we have received our flag. All right, we've received our flag or our trophy, if you like. All right. So this is basically what a triage means. Okay, analyzing, assessing, sorting alerts, indicating which one needs urgent attention, which one is just a normal activity that is seen on the network, which one of them needs the attention of the security, this SOC Level 2 analysts urgently. And this makes the job of the SOC Level 2 analyst easier because the SOC Level 2 analyst will have to focus on the very critical problems, okay, and pay less attention to those issues or those alerts that are not very serious. Now you've gotten a picture of what SOC Level 1 Analyst does. In subsequent videos, we are going to make further progress into what this role entails. I remain Eboh FN and I'm grateful, especially for the fact that you stayed with me until the end. To see more content like this, please like and subscribe because it helps the algorithm know that this was helpful, thus showing it to more persons who may need it. Also follow at Secneedle on all social media platforms and visit our website secneedle.com to learn more. Until we meet again next week, bye for now.